Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're not just dusting off some ancient text from the Ginza Rabba. No, we are diving headfirst into an epic adventure that honestly feels like it was ripped straight out of a massive sci-fi blockbuster. We're talking about the soul's ultimate journey, the voyage back to our cosmic roots. So let's uncover these ancient secrets together and figure out exactly what this means for us today. Just imagine for a second, what if the physical body you're walking around in right now, with all its weird little quirks, was really just a temporary spacesuit? Or actually, think of it like an avatar you're playing in this totally sprawling open-world video game. What actually happens when it's game over? Or when it's finally time to take off that suit, leave it completely behind, and launch out into the vastness of space? Well, that is exactly the mind-bending question this text tackles. So the story kicks off with Adam. Yeah, the very first human, just living out his totally normal, everyday, earthly life. But then, out of nowhere, he gets the ultimate call from the Savior. It's a direct command to rise up and leave his physical shell behind. And the text describes this earthly body in a pretty intense way, calling it a literal prison of flesh bound by chains of blood and bone. Adam is basically told to ditch these earthly garments so he can ascend to a house of light and peace, a place completely free from all hatred and darkness. Now, how do you think Adam reacted to this? Well, pretty much exactly like any of us would when faced with a massive, life-altering change. He absolutely panicked. He wept. And honestly, that fear of the unknown is just such a deeply authentic human emotion. I mean, the very first human was utterly terrified by the idea of leaving everything he knew to step into this invisible, totally unknown realm. Because change, even when it's ultimately for the better, always carries that heavy, overwhelming dread of starting over. Just listen to Adam's exact words here. He asks, who will guard my crops? Who will protect me from the thunder? And who's going to comfort my wife, Eve? It's just so incredibly human, isn't it? His anxiety over his farming, his family, his daily routine, it perfectly mirrors the heavy anxieties we all face, especially when we're going through massive transitions in our own youth. Whether it's the fear of leaving your friends behind, moving to a new city, or just totally stressing out about the future, these are very real, super relatable fears. But here's what is truly fascinating about this whole dynamic. The Savior's response doesn't minimize Adam's feelings at all. Instead, he gently but firmly reminds Adam that this material world he's clinging to is, at the end of the day, strictly temporary. The text paints it as a broken world, full of illusions, a place where relationships shift, where friends might change, and where physical things simply fade away. It's a really powerful reminder that the things we grip onto so tightly here, well, they aren't the ultimate reality. This brings us to a really stark contrast presented by the ancient text itself. On one side, you have the heavy, temporary world of clay, packed with anxiety, endless responsibilities, and sorrow. And that stands in direct opposition to the realm of light, which is all about absolute weightlessness, eternity, and these incredible glowing garments. The world of clay anchors you down like harsh gravity, right? But the realm of light, it grants you the total freedom to take flight. So that begs the question, how exactly do you travel to this luminous realm? What's the ticket to cross over? Well, the text is crystal clear about the currency of the afterlife. Spoiler alert, gold, silver, even earthly physical ties, none of that matters. You literally can't pack any of it in your cosmic suitcase. Your only true passport, the one that's going to open roads blocked by 1,000 questions, is made entirely of your good deeds, your truth, and your spiritual mark. That is the only real wealth that never, ever loses its value. Then we hit the emotional, highly cinematic climax of the story. Adam finally realizes the truth of it all. He weeps profusely, sure, but ultimately he accepts his destiny. Just picture this breathtaking scene. Adam essentially unzips and steps right out of his physical body, completely abandoning that clay shell. And the moment he steps away, he trembles, he looks back at what he used to be, just bracing himself for whatever comes next. And this beautifully illustrates how Adam actually views the shell he just left behind. Because look, despite all the talk of a prison, the text never actually despises the human body. Not at all. On the contrary, it marvels at its brilliant mechanics. It describes it with total awe, eyes that see day and night, hands that never tire. It's a gorgeous acknowledgement that the human body was a magnificent tool, a complex, totally wondrous biological machine designed specifically for us to experience the material world in all its gritty detail. But once the soul actually exits, what's left? A sudden, absolute stillness. The eyes go dark, the hands freeze. That earthly avatar, that super intricate spacesuit we talked about, it simply returns to dust. It becomes an empty vessel, completely devoid of senses and feeling. And the text hits us with a really heavy truth here. No matter how incredibly wealthy a person was, and no matter how deep the grief of their family, all the money in the entire world cannot buy this body back. It can't breathe life into it, and it definitely can't stop it from returning to the earth. Okay, let's shift our energy now to a scene of just pure awe and absolute beauty. The very moment Adam leaves that heavy clay behind, his soul takes flight. He launches into the ether like a bird flying free. And as he travels deeper into the vast cosmos, he actually grows wings, wings that expand and strengthen the further he goes. It is truly a magnificent ascension sequence. Like, honestly, it rivals the most stunning visuals you'd see in a big budget space exploration movie. And the coolest part? On this incredible upward journey, he isn't alone. The text tells us that the etheric brothers, these beings made entirely of pure light, rush out to meet him across a glowing nebula. They present him with radiant garments and crystalline wreaths. It's this grand cosmic welcoming committee reassuring Adam that he isn't some stranger out here. He was chosen by the great life, and he is finally, truly returning to his home as a being of light. From here, the narrative takes on a much larger, totally epic dimension. We're presented with this massive cosmic timeline regarding the ultimate destiny of the entire physical world. It says ages will pass, rivers will run dry, and oceans will completely evaporate. Entire mountains will crumble, and even the greatest empires in human history, like Babylon and Rome, will be completely wiped away. Ultimately, every single material thing will fade and absolute cosmic justice will be served. It really shows us that the soul's journey isn't just some isolated event, it is the inevitable destiny of all existence. But right in the middle of this terrifyingly massive cosmic vision, the text actually zooms back in to touch Adam's heart directly. The Savior gives him the ultimate reassurance, the peace of eternity. He's told not to mourn the world he left behind, and more importantly, not to worry about the loved ones he left there. Because guess what? The story isn't over. The next station will actually bring them all together again. So the absolutely crucial point here is that death, or leaving the physical body, is not a permanent separation. No way. Adam is explicitly told, evil will ascend behind you and all your descendants will follow. All of humanity. Crowned kings, the wealthy, brides and grooms, and the youth alike, every single person will eventually make this exact same voyage. We will all eventually take off our material spacesuits to ascend into eternity. We are literally all passengers on this exact same cosmic journey. And that leaves us with a profound question directly raised by the philosophy of this ancient text. If your current body is truly just a temporary spacesuit or an avatar you're one day going to leave behind to embark on your true cosmic journey, what kind of eternal light are your actions building today? Seriously, what spiritual suitcase of honesty and good deeds are you packing right now for that inevitable future? It's a fascinating concept from the Ginza Rabba to ponder. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this explainer, and I will see you on the next journey.